Here are the headlines. Pakistan already dumped by its so-called all-weather friend China. They will not anymore sponsor the Belt and Road project. China steps aside. ADB will now fund Pakistan's project. Kavitha quits. The daughter of KCR has quit from her own father's party. Inside story of why and how she decided to step down. Inside details from the Agriculture Ministry on Republic on countering the Trump tariffs, the different sectors that are affected. We have details and a response from the Agriculture Ministry on how they will look for other markets. International Booker Prize winner Banu Mushtaq in the middle of a Dasara controversy in Karnataka. She was questioned by the BJP and the royal family on why she was selected to inaugurate the prestigious Dasara festival. She's broken her silence on Republic. And on top of 7 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, we're getting in some confirmation now, some breaking news that we're picking up from different agencies and different countries. We are corroborating reports that confirm that Pakistan will now go ahead. They will proceed with the loan from ADB. China has decided to step aside, and China is increasingly worried about their money not being repaid by Pakistan. Pakistan will go ahead with its project of the Belt and Road Initiative with a loan from the Asian Development Bank after China decides to retreat due to concerns over unpaid dues over the years. This has been brewing for some time. China has been thinking twice, given how much they've gone out of the way to help Pakistan, and Pakistan has now decided to go ahead. They will move with the project. They will move with ADB. China has decided to simply step aside. Sushant Sareen is joining us. Sushant Sareen, he's part of ORF and he's a strategic affairs expert as well. Now, this was seen coming, Sushant. We knew that China at some stage would lose patience with Pakistan. When you look at the overall, investment that China has made in Pakistan, how does this move figure? What is your analysis of this?
So, Niranjan, I don't necessarily agree with your description that China has dumped Pakistan. But yes, insofar as China's attempts to build the Pakistan economy through the CPEC project, tied much more closely to the Chinese economy, I think that, that ambition has gone to seed. It's dead, basically. And quite clearly, none of those projects seem to be working. The Chinese companies are losing money. The power projects that they set up in Pakistan, they are bleeding. The Pakistanis are not paying in time. And in fact, when Shahbaz Sharif went to China for the SCO summit, it cost him something like $300 million or 100 billion Pakistani rupees because, he had to take something with him to repay the loans which they owe to the Chinese power companies that are producing power in Pakistan. They have run up debts of almost about $1.5 billion. So they needed to show that, we are paying something back to the Chinese. So that trip basically cost Bangalistan something like $300 million. But there is and the telltale signs of the Chinese losing interest have been there for some years now. There has been no new investment in the CPEC projects, at least over the last couple of years. The Chinese have been going slow on some of the projects that are currently underway inside Pakistan. And quite clearly, they've realized that the sheer incompetence in Pakistan to provide even the basic facilities for these projects is something which has been extremely galling for the Chinese, because it has upset their entire calculations. The Gwadar port, for example, is a dead port. There is no hardly any ship which comes out there. The Pakistanis tried to divert, the shipping to Gwadar, and then, not catch their nose like this, but catch it from around the head. But that also hasn't worked. They've tried to link up this whole CPEC thing to Central Asia. That hasn't worked. So clearly, the CPEC projects are bleeding money, and the Chinese don't want to lose more money or throw good money after bad. Now, the problem, however, is, and that's also the irony of this whole thing, that ADB is basically a kind of an adjunct. I know some people will not agree with what I'm saying, but it's a kind of an adjunct of the World Bank or the Bretton Woods system. And to see ADB now fund a BRI project, I think the irony is inescapable. And the Chinese, of course, will not have a problem, because if the ADB is going to sink money in this particular project, then the Chinese will free ride on it. Why should they spend their money on it? The Pakistanis, however, will not be able to pay back that money. But I suppose ADB is not even going to ask them for money. After all, if Trump is so enamored and he's making his pile, then he doesn't care if ADB or some of these other banks lose money. The other aspect of this entire ML1, see, ML1, this particular railway project, was supposed to be the backbone of CPEC. This was the project which would have made whatever production or whatever transportation was going to happen through this particular economic corridor. This was the project that would have made some of it viable. Personally, I don't think the CPEC is viable anyways. But it would have added some degree of viability to the entire project. And if this project is not taking place, then it basically means that the CPEC is, if not dead, then at least comatose. And that is where we are at. So quite clearly, as far as the economic dimension of the relationship is concerned, I think that's in trouble. And the telltale signs, even on ML1, this project was to start many years back. There has been no financial closure. Initially, it was about $6.5 billion. Then it got delayed. So when the Chinese came back with it, they raised the price to almost $10 billion. And then the Pakistanis bawled and they said that this would become unaffordable. So they kind of watered down the project and brought it back to 6.5. But there was a certain component that the Pakistanis had to pay. But the Pakistanis don't want to pay for anything. So there has been no financial closure. And I think the Chinese have realized that, it's a mug's game to go ahead with this project. Even those very ambitious special economic zones, which were supposed to come up inside Pakistan to benefit from CPEC, even those have not seen the light of the day so far. So quite clearly, I think, as far as the economic side of the relationship is concerned, that's gone. But I think we shouldn't read too much into it. The strategic dimensions of the relationship still remain pretty much intact. So I would imagine that, we need to look at it in a more nuanced manner than to just simply say that China has dumped Pakistan.
Thank you. Thank you, Sushant. Thank you for joining us with your input on that. In what has otherwise been a very disastrous outing for Shehbaz Sharif in China, in Tianjin at the SCO. If you talk about optics, it's been quite disastrous. Now let's get you some more breaking news updates coming in on the show tonight. You had a very senior leader from the BRS, the erstwhile TRS, now BRS, the daughter of KCR, K. Chandrasekhar Rao. K. Kavitha has resigned from her party. Now she alleged corruption. She spoke about her family members, some of the family members who are also ministers in the government, who are also tall leaders within the own party. Now the question is, she has been in the party for many years. Why did she speak about it now? Now here are what leaders within the BRS are saying, and these are top sources within the party, who claim, in fact, some of them sticking their neck out, and while speaking to Republic TV, saying that in the last few months especially, and even in the last few years, Kavitha has been in touch with Revant. This is what they claim, BRS sources claim, that she has been in touch with Revant, and they add that Kavitha has been in touch with the Telangana Chief Minister for quite some time. In fact, Revant Reddy has also been very interested in the Kaleswaram project, and they've been very close for a very long time. They have been in touch for a long time is what they say. And they add that it appears that the Telangana Chief Minister could have created a rift within the family. It appears, and this is what they say, that the KTR family is being extremely careful while responding to this controversy. They are being very cautious. They don't want to, since Kavitha is the daughter of KCR, the sister of KTR. It's a very, very sensitive issue, and that is why they are holding back and they don't want to talk about it. But they do, of course, add that it appears that she may have been instigated. The words used by the top BRS source is that she may have been instigated. They feel that there is some collaboration that may have happened where she may have discussed a few things with Revant Reddy, the Telangana Chief Minister as well. Now, all of these are attributed to a source in the BRS as we track that story of Kavitha and why she quit. Why she quit from her party. Let's go to the next story. On This Is Exclusive, let's get you the big story on the tariffs. When you talk about the tariffs, ladies and gentlemen, India has been doing everything to look for alternative markets. Every sector that has been impacted, textile, agriculture, and we have a very detailed response that's coming from the Agriculture Ministry, and that's our third story on This Is Exclusive this evening. Let's get you that breaking news update. In fact, Agriculture Ministry sources telling Republic that the US tariffs could impact some sectors, for example, the shrimp export sector, and they're neutralizing it. They feel that the measures that are now being taken, talks that have been initiated with the concerned stakeholders, we are being told that the Union Minister of Fisheries, for example, Rajiv Ranjan Singh, there was a meeting that was held which was attended by senior officials from the government last month with seafood farmers, stakeholders from states like Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Kerala. We are hearing they've begun studying markets of United Kingdom, European Union, Oman, UAE, South Korea, Russia and even China as far as shrimp is concerned, because shrimp exports are a critical sector that will likely be impacted by the US tariffs. A major emphasis are on the markets of two countries, which will in all likelihood not just make up for the US market, but perhaps also increase exports in a way. Soumya is joining us with those details. Soumya.
Yes, well, see, heads on, the Indian government is working on so that our farmers or the concerned sectors and the ministries do not get affected by the Trump tariff threats, and they are taking the challenge head on. So it all started when the tariffs came in effect on August 27th. And now an important meeting took place on August 11th, which was convened by the Fisheries Union Minister, Rajiv Ranjan Singh, and was also attended by George Kurian, senior officials from the Agriculture Ministries, fisheries department heads from several states, including Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and farmers as well. So now various sectors, various industries are going to be impacted by the tariffs. However, the Indian government, the respective ministries have started working out as to how they can divert the markets from US so that there is little to no effect on the farmers or the particular sectors. As far as shrimp farmers, the shrimp exports are concerned, we were told by the sources within the agriculture ministries that market size are being read, are being studied, and topping that list is UK. UK is topping this list because remember, Prime Minister Modi during his visit in July had signed an FTA with United Kingdom. The rest, the other countries making to the list are Russia, China, South Korea, UAE, Oman, among others. Now, emphasis are on two countries majorly. Those are South Korea, given its potential in the market, and also Middle East, given the growing demand there. So, and this market study is not just related to the shrimp export. In fact, Commerce Ministry is studying these markets for various other sectors as well, which will be impacted by the tariffs, be it the textile or be it the pharmaceuticals or the gems industry. In fact, for that matter, UK, they're studying UK market sizes again for leather and textile industries for that matter. So these are the developments that we are picking up, and the ministries in itself, they have independently confirmed that they are not going to bow down. They're not going to be threatened by Trump tariffs, and they will work, and there is not going to be any sort of negotiations with the United States, which in turn will affect the integrity of the work of the Indian farmers.
Okay. Thank you for joining us with those inputs, Soumya, with the steps that the Agriculture Ministry has taken, and they have responded exclusively to Republic TV on looking out for the alternative markets. Let's move on to the next breaking news coming in. Okay, so there is the Booker Prize winner Banu Mushtaq, who's been asked to inaugurate the annual Dasara festival in Mysuru, Karnataka. The prestigious Dasara festival, also referred to as Nadahabba. And there has been a controversy around the invite that was given to Banu Mushtaq, and Banu Mushtaq, for the first time, has broken her silence. It is the first time that she is speaking on this controversy since it broke out. In fact, even the royal family, Yaduvir Vadayar, the royal family member, BJP MP, had also questioned the state government's choice of why Banu Mushtaq was asked to invite in the first place. And she has, for the first time, spoken out. She spoke to Republic Kannada earlier today, and this is her first comment on the controversy.
Yes, I'm highly grateful to the people of Karnataka. 7 crores of Kannadigas, I am highly grateful to them. And I am thankful and grateful to the state government and to the Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah. And I am also thankful to the district administration myself.
They are all invited to your family also.
Yes. Yeah. It is a total invitation, not only to me, to the entire family also. That's why I am also very grateful to them.
They invited to 22nd September. Any plan?
Yeah, no plans right now. I don't have any plans because within 2 to 3 days I am moving out of country for some literary program, and I may return next week. So after returning, I will coordinate with the district administration and I will finalize the programs with them.
That's why it's biggest celebration in our Karnataka.
Yes, but right now, I reserve my comments. I don't want to talk anything about any issue right now. Please bear with me.
In fact, one of the reasons why this is so controversial is, ladies and gentlemen, Banu Mushtaq, she's the Booker Prize winner. She's someone who also has fought for the Kannada language. But in a video that has been doing the rounds, she's heard questioning whether the practice of worshipping the Kannada language as goddess Bhuvaneshwari is acceptable. She calls it and describes it as exclusionary to linguistic minorities like herself. So she in the past has questioned goddess Bhuvaneshwari while comparing goddess to the Kannada language, and to get her to inaugurate the Dasara festival, which is primarily celebrated by Hindus. That's what the BJP says. It's a Hindu festival, and why is someone who does not believe in goddess Bhuvaneshwari, why is she being invited in the first place? Isn't that an affront, is what they claim. The story is going to get interesting. That's it on this edition of This Is Exclusive. Thanks for watching.